lived up to the hype. A couple of Rui Hachimura three-pointers meant the Pacers needed to come from behind. Yet another Tyrese Haliburton basket and the foul. He makes the free throw. The Pacers are up by one. They need one last stop. Good look for Luka Doncic, but not a rebound for the Pacers. LeBron James sneaks in there and just barely gets that tip in to beat the buzzer, and the Lakers snap the Pacers' 8-game win streak at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Hard-fought loss tonight, 120-119, continuing in a theme of so many games that have been close late for the Pacers. They had that double-digit win against Minnesota on Monday. You knew this was not going to be a double-digit game throughout. My name is Jeremiah Johnson. He is Eddie Gill. You're watching Andy Moore Automotive Pacers Live post-game show. The Pacers did a good job rallying from down 13 at halftime, cut it to 3 to start the fourth quarter, and then it's a little bit of a quarter of runs, and basically whoever had the ball last won the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And even going back into the second quarter, the Pacers got down 17. So give them a lot of credit for battling back here against this team led by LeBron James and Luka Doncic. They both had good games in their own respective ways, but the Pacers did a tremendous job, especially in that second half, being able to battle back, get some stops, and they were able to score the basketball at a high enough level. And just unfortunate there on that last particular play. As you see, LeBron James is initially going to attack here. Jarris Walker immediately comes to the double team. And just a blow by here for Luka Doncic. This floater looks pretty good. Andrew Nembhard, very interesting, tried to set up there to draw the charge. He's not able to do it, but high IQ play here by LeBron James. He's recognizing the time on the clock, just a quick touch of the ball. You see him pulling his hand off of it quickly, and he's able to get Jarris Walker on his back to even come up with the offensive rebound and put back attempt. But just a big-time play there, but no shame to be had here by the Pacers. No reason to hang your head. Did an awesome job of battling back, getting back into this game. Obviously, disappointment and frustration in the loss, having an opportunity to win the fifth of this 5-game homestand, but just a tough loss here.
Crazy that last minute, no timeouts called. You don't expect that to happen. They let it play out a little bit, and the Pacers did not have Tyrese Haliburton on the court for that last offensive possession because they got to stop, but then you only had one timeout. It's what do you do at that situation?
Yeah, sub them out for that defensive possession there, but to your point there, both coaches decided to let transition play out, which I'm okay with. I think a lot of times defenses have a difficult time being able to match up in transition, and that's what they were looking for.
Wow, what a game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse as the Pacers fall to the Lakers. Luka Doncic, wow. We were wondering how he would fit in. We're looking forward to seeing him with LeBron James, and it wasn't LeBron James the story, even though he had the last shot. Luka was really the story throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I give LeBron James a lot of credit, actually. He's deferred to both him and Austin Reeves throughout the entire game. More of a screener than anything else here tonight and a rebounder. But Luka Doncic had that three ball going early and often. He really hitting a lot of tough shots, hitting them from deep. Then there was a couple plays late in the game where I think he surprised the Pacers where he ended up attacking the basket and able to get to the rim.
34.7 rebounds, 7 assists. He had to work for it with Andrew Nembhard guarding him. Again, the Pacers fall by one. Stay with us for more of Pacers Live Postgame. Wow. Still trying to catch our breath and think about what we saw and what we should say here on Pacers Live Postgame. 120-119. The Pacers do take 4 of 5 in this homestand, but the Lakers get the win tonight. You see the updated Eastern Conference standings. Now a 1.5 advantage for the Pacers over the Bucks. Incidentally, Milwaukee playing at Denver tonight. They were trailing at halftime, and of course, a different story for a different night, but Damian Lillard injury news affects what Milwaukee is trying to do over the final couple weeks of the regular season. I really think back to the start of the second quarter and the start of the fourth quarter. The Lakers went on a 15-0 run to start the second quarter. It was really a run that started late first quarter, and then to start the fourth quarter, a 10-0 run. Now, the fourth quarter one, you quickly answered that, but those two tough ways to start those two quarters.
Absolutely. And there's just so much to overcome, especially when you think about the opponent that you're facing, and what's at stake for them too, because they're still vying for playoff seeding, and LeBron James just getting reacclimated after injury. So they're playing for a lot right now. So it's a very difficult ask to come back and be able to overcome those types of plays. Almost were able to get that done prior to the game winning putback by LeBron James.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights because again, this was a back and forth game. So I'm guessing the highlights will be back and forth as well. The first quarter really good. The Pacers outscored the Lakers 33-28. The ball was moving. They had good energy on the defensive end. That's Pascal Siakam finishing in transition. And then Tyrese Haliburton with the dunk. Up by 5 going to the second quarter, and then the Lakers kind of took control of the game in the second quarter.
Yeah, there were a couple moments where I thought we were in the LA Live campus, and the second quarter of this game is when I thought we were there again. We think back to Austin Reeves' 45-point game.
Austin Reeves and one, then Luka Doncic turnaround jumper. Those two players combined for 36 in the first half. Pacers trailing by 13 at halftime. So you move ahead to the third quarter. You need to just get the crowd into the game. You need to fly around. You need to get the ball moving. Those were the messages from Rick Carlisle during the huddle. And you needed to get Miles Turner to stretch the defense, and he did.
Yeah, and he was able to get it going there. Hadn't scored much in the first half, but knocked down a couple threes in that third quarter to really get the Pacers going. And Neesmith still continues his hot shooting throughout this game.
Yeah, so the shooting was not good in the second quarter. It was great in the third quarter. And how about Jarris Walker? Rick Carlisle calls his number, probably for defensive purposes, and hits a huge three-pointer in the fourth.
Listen, couldn't be happier for Jarris Walker for that particular shot there. He had some nice defensive moments as well. Just answered the call.
And then on the other end, you still have to figure out a way to know where Luka Doncic is. He hits the three, then sizing up the Pacers defense. He's going to drive in, and Rui Hachimura, again, he hit the two biggest shots, I felt like, as it gave the Lakers a 2-possession lead, and it made the Pacers have to continue to score. Nembhard hit a couple of baskets, Tyrese Haliburton driving in, and you know the Pacers are used to playing in games like this.
Listen, I love the determination here of Haliburton. You get 77 on you, you attack him every single time, and that's what Tyrese Haliburton was able to do, able to get back-to-back baskets.
He got that free throw to bounce around and go. 1-point Pacers lead, and I've seen this already probably one too many times as LeBron James tips in the miss from Luka Doncic. You noted, I didn't see it at the time, that Andrew Nembhard was trying to take that charge. It wasn't not enough contact to get that call in that situation. The Indiana Members Credit Union with the final stats, and in a 1-point game, you might expect the statistics are very similar between these two teams.
Yeah, they did a really nice job there. Both teams scored the ball well in the first half. Thought the defense was a little bit better for both teams, but they get it going in the second half. And the third quarter, you called it there in terms of being able to make that run. The fourth quarter, the Lakers, and there's just a lot to overcome. You got to play almost flawless basketball to win that game.
But they never panicked, and when you're down 5 or 6 with less than 2 minutes to play, you still got back in the game and got the lead. You just needed one more stop. Let's get the post-game comments now from Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle.
This is where this one got sideways for you guys. What, to you, was the issue in that frame that got the game away from you?
Ball movement was poor. Poor offense was leading to bad defensive situations. A lot of them were transition. And, second half, we amped up our ball movement. We amped up our compete level defensively. And, the last 2 quarters were very good. And so, we just came up short.
Did you consider a timeout after you got that stop?
Considered it. And, looking at it now, it certainly would have been the thing to do given the result. But there was a 9 or 10 second difference. And had we scored, they probably were going to run it back at us. And so that group had a good run in the fourth, so I just decided to stay with it. But that was my decision. And the thing that really also was a big factor was we had a foul to give, and we're all, we talked about it in the huddle, and everybody on the sideline was yelling it, and we just didn't do it. And so, they got turned loose for a shot, and then we didn't get a body on LeBron. So
rebounding early was a difference too, and of course on the last shot it was a factor. What did you think of that? Is it just their size has always been, a challenge? What do you think of that today?
Yeah, I mean, they're not super huge at the center position, but they rebound the ball well, and it's always a challenge. Vanderbilt as a backup center is a guy that gets a lot of rebounds. Hayes has done a good job for him, and Hachimura is a guy that is a glass eater. So, it was disappointing, but I was just really proud of the way the guys battled.
Jarris Walker obviously is in for a lot of big moments there, hit some big shots, made some big plays, but obviously, had an opportunity to make the box out there at the end and doesn't. I mean, just what was your kind of read on his sort of total performance? Obviously, in a clutch situation, gets you in that one, but also has a mistake at the end.
Yeah, he was ready, and this game called for, a big body with skill, and so he went in there and did some great stuff. I mean, the three he hit behind his screen was a huge shot. Really got the crowd going. Made a great vertical play on Neesmith to get that stop, and then but these are all situations that he'll learn a lot from, and I'm proud of the way he's kept himself ready. He's really figured out what this league is about. It's about always keeping your edge, always keeping prepared. I was trying to put him in the game earlier during a timeout, but he had gone back to the bathroom. And so it took an extra couple minutes to get him in, but he did really good things. And, I had talked to him yesterday about this set of two games that, tonight might be a game, might very well be a game with LeBron and Luka and some guy and Hachimura and guys with big bodies that he would need to be ready. And also that, the Washington game is a tough back-to-back, and so we'll need him on that one as well.
Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle after LeBron and the Lakers break the Pacers' hearts tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Stay with us. Much more still to come on the FanDuel Sports Network. 18 turnovers, 25 points off of those turnovers. 2 of them courtesy of the Master Jewelers defensive gem, and it's Aaron Neesmith stepping into the passing lane. Good anticipation, knowing they were getting the ball to LeBron James.
Yeah, great job here. Austin Reeves missed LeBron James earlier on in that possession, and he still tried to force it to him. But Aaron Neesmith playing a little safety. He's able to intercept that one. And Tyrese Haliburton doing a terrific job in that 2-on-1 fast break.
That was 2 of the Pacers' 9 fast break points in that first quarter, and that was a big reason the Pacers were able to build that advantage to 5 at the end of 1. They finished the game with 18 fast break points. We knew before this game that was going to be a difference in this game. How Tyrese Haliburton, I looked down at the stat sheet before coming up for the halftime show, and he already had 10 assists. His streak continues with games with 10 assists, 2 or fewer turnovers, had that point assist double-double, and I thought he was going to be on pace to break his high of assists with 23.
Exactly. He ends the game with 18. Just 1 turnover. Just terrific job of taking care of the basketball here throughout the game. He's able to find his teammates in so many different ways. He's also took advantage of scoring opportunities there at the rim. Didn't have the 3-ball going here tonight, but again, late in the game, you get this matchup here. You have got to attack him and make him guard dribble penetration. He is not willing to do that. Tyrese Haliburton able to get 2 consecutive baskets.
10 games remain. We're going to keep following and tracking these numbers, these assist to turnover numbers, because incredible territory for Tyrese Haliburton. 5-game homestand concludes with 4 Pacers wins. They will go on the road for 2 before coming back for 3 next week. And Eddie, do we have to look at, I normally love the Menards big money shot of the game. I don't like it as much tonight.
I feel like you might need to turn your phone off and don't turn the TV on, because we might see it a few more times by the end of the night here. But just a really nice job of recognizing the double team. He kicks it out. Luka has a fantastic look with this floater. I thought that was good when it left his hand. And immediately LeBron James is boxing Jarris Walker out right there. You see setting up for the offensive rebound. And just a quick touch before the clock elapses.
Yeah, everyone's probably thinking it's Luka makes it or Pacers win, and everyone except LeBron James, who was tracking and was able to get that off. And speaking of LeBron James, there was a point early in the fourth quarter, maybe between the third and the fourth quarter, I thought we were maybe going to see history. He only had 3 points. He had 1,282 consecutive games with at least 10 points. Started that fourth quarter. I'm not going to say he was just focused on getting to double figures, but he was focused on getting to double figures.
I can assure you, with his IQ and just the understanding of the game and knows everything that's going on out there, he is well aware of what his point total was there. And again, he hasn't been held to single digits since the dinosaurs were roaming the earth.
January of 2007.
It's absolutely insane. There's just his ability to recognize what's going on. He got hot. He made a couple baskets. They called that timeout. They come out on the floor. They call another set for him to get a look. But again, he did a great job of getting his numbers in terms of scoring the basketball. But again, I was really impressed with the fact that he was willing to defer, turned into a screener in large part for most of the night, letting Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves be the facilitators and playing off of those guys. I've mentioned the fact that they was playing small ball in that fourth quarter. He's playing 5 primarily the remainder of the game, and that's where you saw those rebound totals add up.
I guess quick thought, now that you've seen the Lakers twice, once with their full complement of players, how do you think they stack up in the Western Conference?
I think they still have some growth to really in terms of their progress. Maybe a couple weeks ago, they were really looking like a contender prior to LeBron James getting that injury. They were playing really good basketball. When he goes to the bench, they put 4 defenders out there on the floor with Luka Doncic, lets him do his thing. And Austin Reeves is like that third guy on the floor who at any time can erupt. We saw him do that in the second quarter.
Pacers and Lakers, a couple of teams maybe in that 4-5 matchup in their respective conference that could be very dangerous when the playoffs get underway. Time to recap the night in FanDuel activities. Jackson Hayes was the first player to score in this game. His odds plus 650, so 6.5 to 1, and that was a pick and roll from Luka Doncic to Hayes, although he was not as impactful as that game went along. The 3-player props that we showed you, Pascal Siakam just finished with 15. This is a night where 7 are in double figures, so you're not going to have any one player with too big of a scoring night.
Yeah, they did a terrific job of sharing the ball, got the ball spread around a little bit. Again, I still maintain anytime they hit these little lulls and stagnant plays, or segments throughout the game, he's got to get the ball there, especially in that free throw line. I like that. It's a difficult spot for them to double team in there.
Andrew Nembhard had ball in his hands a lot. He had primary responsibility of guarding Luka Doncic, which was not easy. We showed Nembhard to get at least 4 assists, did not do that, just finished with 3. Hit some big shots, though, in that fourth quarter when the Pacers were trying to get that lead back.
Yeah, 6 for 9 from the field. I thought he had some very nice drives to the basket, physical in terms of his play, knocking defensive angles off, able to get to the rim. Always tough on defense, trying to make life miserable for Luka Doncic.
You saw some of the Andrew Nembhard assist there, and shame on us for doubting Austin Reeves. We should know better after we saw him score 45 points at Crypto.com Arena in February. The Pacers did a better job on him in the second half, but still went over the 19.5.
Yeah, he was able to get it going in a major way in that second quarter. They put the ball in his hands just repeatedly and allowed him to either attack the basket and be able to get to the free throw line. Incredibly crafty. The game of his that he has now is seeing tremendous growth over the last couple of seasons.
Other scores to watch, and again, we're really tracking that Bucks Denver Nuggets game, currently tied at 82 in the third quarter. Maybe a surprising result at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks lose to the Clippers. Tyrese Haliburton, post-game comments.
Yeah, obviously it's flipping. We had a great fight in the second half. But I thought that second quarter, we really stalled offensively and didn't get enough stops. And, that's why the game resulted the way it did. We had to be better in the second quarter there. It's obviously not a one-play game at the end there. But, it happens. It happens throughout the course of the year. We know, like you said, we've came out on the right side of a lot of these games lately. So, it's bound to happen. But I'm proud of our fight. I thought we fought well down the stretch. Obviously just got to finish the game a little better.
You hoping to get in with about 30 seconds left? You ask Rick to take a timeout, sub you in at the table?
Yeah, obviously I want to be on the floor. That's no surprise. But I think at that time, I trust his decision-making, and we got to stop. It looked like we were in semi-transition. I thought we just slowed up a little bit. But, yeah, of course I want to be on the floor. But, I trust his decision-making, and I'm riding with whatever decision he's making. And, when I'm on the floor, I think he's riding whatever decision I'm making. So, it's ebbs and flows. And, I'm sure if we could have it back, we'd probably want to call a timeout there. But, it's going to happen through the course of a season. And I thought we responded the right way.
You mentioned it already, but what went sideways in that second quarter?
Yeah, the ball just got stuck. They switch 1 through 5, and they just keep the ball in front and just make you ISO a lot. I thought we just slowed down. Our pace versus theirs is a drastic difference, and I thought we didn't do a good job of making them play at our pace the whole game. I thought in the second quarter especially they dictated the pace, walked the ball up. I thought that's where Austin and Luka got to the free throw line a lot, and that slowed the game down. So, we just got to do a better job as a team in the second quarter there.
That was Tyrese Haliburton. Quick thought. Wizards tomorrow night. Tight turnaround, Eddie.
Yeah, to get some sleep on this plane and try to get some rest up throughout the day and come out with a major force there to start that game up.
No reason to not start a new win streak. It'll be a short road trip at Washington tomorrow, then at Oklahoma City on Saturday. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. What a game. High drama, last second plays. In the end, LeBron and the Lakers prevail 120-119. We thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. See you then.